So I'm sitting here with Peter Woodward, who plays Galen, both in Babylon 5, Crusade, and now Babylon 5, The Lost Tales. And you occupy a unique position in that you were kind of the last person on deck and the first person on the new deck. How's that transition feel to you?
Yeah, I was. I mean, I've always thought I was very lucky because I squeaked in at the end of B5. Now, it was interesting because the character was a sort of bridge between B5 and Crusade, and he's one of those bridge characters that, you know, is always in the background and always hovering there, and yeah, it's always interesting to play that sort of slightly godlike creature.
Which is typecasting for you, really.
It is, yes. That's the sort of role I play all the time.
Because God does have an English accent. I've noticed that in the past in films and stuff.
Not only God, but everyone in the Bible, you'll find, has an English accent, yes.
Are historians aware of this?
Some of them are, some of them aren't. Yeah.
The unenlightened ones are.
Yeah, this is true, yes.
So do you, what makes a good techno-mage?
An English accent, yeah.
Good start.
Yeah, this has always been my problem, you see, because you have always kept so quiet about exactly what a technomage is and where technomages
now it's my fault.
Come from. Yes, it is your fault, where they come from, you know, what they're doing, what they want. You know, I've always had so many questions, and you've always sort of just said, yeah, well, you're doing just about right, you know. Or,
well, you asked them on the way to the men's room. It's the wrong time to ask these questions. Coming out of the men's room, perfect time. Into the men's room, not so good.
But I do remember, we were at I think it was a fan convention, was it, in Toronto? And you took me out for dinner and told me that, you know, you were trying to arrange a future life for the whole B5 universe. And at the time I thought, well, that's nice of him to try, but, you know, we'll see. And lo and behold, here we are. And all credit to Warner Brothers for, you know, having the guts to know that there was a future life for this show. And
that the fans are crying out to see you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or just crying, anyway. There was crying involved. We know that much for a fact.
But I have to say, yeah, I mean, what's interesting is that the fans of science fiction generally, but particularly for B5 and Crusade, have really been one of the motors behind getting this show on again. Because if there wasn't that interest there, if there wasn't that continuing interest, you know, that this wouldn't have happened.
I agree. And as far as, you know, the role is concerned, what works for me about this is that we're used to science fiction shows being all about the technology, the device, turning on the transducers, or turning the force field on. There's no sense of mystery there. And what the technomages are there to do is to bring back that sense of mystery and wonder. Yeah, I could show you how I'm doing this, but where's the fun in that? Yeah.
It's a great trap, I think, in all science fiction, and in fiction generally. You know, even in the new breed of action movies, you know, if you just concentrate on the explosions and the chases and the technology of it, yeah, you'll get the 18-year-olds, you know, the geeks who like all the gadgets, but you won't actually have a human story. And whether Galen is a human or not, because I don't know, because he won't tell me, whether Galen is a human or not, and nevertheless there are human emotions involved, and you know, it's particularly in this episode that I am in, Galen comes across as a really pretty nasty character who has some very nasty suggestions to make to Sheridan, who is given a moral choice about what he should do.
And it's not an easy choice either. It has some actual merit to it.
Yeah.
And most of your scenes are with Sheridan. How is it to work with him in those scenes?
Yeah, Bruce is great fun to work with, and I have to say, you know, we're able to joke together and josh together a lot, but I think we're a good match.
I mean, what the hell is wrong with you people? Don't you have any other hobbies? Well, that's hardly what I'd call a warm welcome.
You wind him up a lot.
I wind him up a great deal, yes, both as an actor and as a character. And yeah, we get on very well. But I think what's interesting is that his character has developed a great deal. That's all right. You can tell that we're right on set, and they're actually setting up for the next scene that we're about to do right now, in which, incidentally, I'm playing the whole scene on a swivel chair. You know, I just got on the set.
Well, it was going to be a bar...
swiveling round, he says.
It was going to be a Barca lounger, but we didn't have the budget for that.
Anyway, I was saying about Bruce. I mean, what's interesting about both him as an actor and his character of Sheridan is that there's a really strong emotional undercurrent. As the character of Sheridan, you know, he's now the president, he has to pull that back, he has to be in control, but it's still there. And with Galen, it's almost the opposite. It's like an absolute ice-cold steel undercurrent which occasionally just erupts into a joke or a bit of what looks like true nastiness, you know, on Galen's part, a suggestion, for instance, in this story, to kill an apparent innocent for what may be his own reasons, his own political reasons, perhaps, we don't know. And so the counterbalance is between the two characters, and I think between us two actors is quite good too.
We are looking at new interpretations of the character for down the road, possibly with the voice of Galen attached to it. We have one over here. I want to get your impression about this, your thought about this. We were thinking of broadening out the interpretation of Galen in some way, manner, shape, or form. So for the next movie, what we're thinking of doing is, this is upside down, isn't it? Is basically going for more of an interactive sock puppet kind of approach. It looks kind of like this. There's the cowl.
Yes,
you know,
I see.
which is like your cowl.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we have the eyes, which are very mysterious, kind of like your eyes.
It looks exactly like me, really.
I was stunned at the way that this actually resembles you. It's actually attacking my hand right now, which is also par for the course.
Yes.
Biting the hand that feeds it.
And you are so skilled in using it. Honestly, I don't know. A glove puppet Galen. I was actually at a convention.
Three of us together again.
I was at a convention once, and I was presented with several people wearing Galen costumes, but I think this is probably the best. Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's the eyes are the best part.
The eyes.
They're mysterious.
Oh, God.
Next movie, this is going to be it.
It's tragic, isn't it? Absolutely tragic.
From Babylon 5 Lost Tales, the three of us saying, hi.